Let's talk about Mother Lilith. Hi lovely witch, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the powerful, mysterious, and deeply transformative energy that is Mother Lilith. Whether you're new to working with her or just curious about her presence in your spiritual practice, this video will guide you through her energy, how she can support you, and really what she's all about. I do already have tons of blog posts on her, so if you're curious, feel free to go read those. Today is going to be more of a brief intro to Mother Lilith, but if you're truly ready to already work with her, I do have this book, Embodying Lilith. This is my first book ever. This book is all about how to work with Lilith, how to connect with her and embody her energy, as well as a good guide for beginner witches. You can find this book on Amazon or the ebook version on my website. This video is going to be broken down into 6 parts. We're going to be going over who Mother Lilith is, what her energy is like, the types of things that she can help you with in your journey, getting familiar with her correspondences. I'm also going to be sharing a bit about my personal experience with her, as well as how you can begin working with her. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. So let's get into it. Who is Mother Lilith? Lilith is probably one of the most misunderstood divine feminine figures in mythology and spirituality. She's often depicted as a dark goddess, a rebellious spirit, or a demon or draconian figure. However, many of us that work with her know her as a fierce protector, a liberator, and a guide to personal empowerment. When it comes to her mythology, you have to remember that most of her stories are coming from a patriarchal point of view. Her most well-known story is that she was Adam's first wife and created equally to him. She refused to submit and chose exile over subservience. Now, because this went against Christian beliefs, they took her out of their book entirely. And because it also went against Judaism, she is depicted in a demonizing way. In their stories of her, she is blamed for many things, including men's uncontrollable sexual urges to eating babies as an act of rage against their god. Now, when you read these stories, you have to read between the lines and try and look at it from a different perspective. Understand what the agenda was of these people who wrote her in such a villainizing way. I personally do also associate Lilith with Sumerian mythology. She's associated with the goddesses Inanna and Ishtar. And in the story of Gilgamesh and the Hulupu tree, she also shows up there, yet again depicted as something vicious and demonizing. One thing is for sure though, the common theme that you will see in Lilith's mythology is that all she wanted was to be sovereign, free, and explore her wildness. She has become a symbol of sovereignty, freedom, and wild feminine energy. She helps us reclaim our power, heal our wounds, and step into our fullest, most authentic selves. Working with Lilith is not for the weak. Her energy is raw, unapologetic, and deeply transformative. She will push you to confront your shadows. In fact, that'll be the first thing that she will bring up to you. That is what she did with me, and what she constantly helps me with is all the shadow work that I need to deal with. She will push you to break free from limitations and embrace your truest self without fear or shame. Lilith embodies divine feminine rage, sensuality, and sovereignty. She doesn't tolerate self-deception or external control. If you're ready to reclaim your voice, step into your power, and shed old conditioning, she will be an incredible guide for you. There are so many things that Lilith can help you with in your personal journey. Shadow work and healing. She helps you embrace and integrate your darker aspects rather than suppress them. Self-empowerment. Lilith supports those who are reclaiming their autonomy, sensuality, and power. Breaking free from oppression. If you feel trapped by societal expectations, toxic relationships, or self-imposed limitations, she will guide you towards liberation. Spiritual protection. Despite her fearsome reputation, she is incredibly protective of those she claims as her children. Sexuality and sacred sensuality. Lilith encourages us to own our desires without shame or guilt. She is the embodiment of the divine dark feminine energy that we all have in us, no matter if you're man or woman or non-binary, however you choose to identify. We all have both masculine and feminine energy within us, and I can definitely go more in depth with that in another video if you'd like. Just let me know in the comments. But the dark aspects of the feminine energy are definitely something she can help you with. Within these 5 different aspects that I mentioned, there are so many different types of spell work she can help you with. There is so many different things in your personal life that she can help you with, revolving those areas of life. But some people also have different connections with her. So she might even be able to help you with bringing justice, overall protection in all areas of life, not just embracing sexuality, but also just your inner beauty and allure. And honestly, so much more. It really does depend on your personal journey. And with that being said too, I really want to emphasize that she does not hate men. She hates the patriarchy. There is a difference there. Men can definitely work with her if they are interested in it and if they respect her and respect women and respect people in general, to be honest. She is really there for the people. She's really there for anybody who is interested in working with her and working with their shadows and understanding that your shadows are not something that should be looked at as evil or repressed. If you're interested in working with Lilith and creating her an altar or just incorporating her in your work, there are so many things that are associated with her that can help you connect to her energy. Crystals associated with her are obsidian, garnet, black tourmaline, bloodstone, carnelian. Those are just the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. But stones that carry the same energy that she does, those would be great ones to incorporate if you work with crystals. Common herbs associated with her are mugwort, belladonna, nightshade, and roses. Her symbols are the serpent, an owl, and a crescent moon. Consumables are things like red wine, pomegranate juice, or pomegranates in general, dark chocolate. Some good incense for her would be dragon's blood or myrrh, or even frankincense. In astrology, there are actually several points on the birth chart that are associated with Lilith. The most common one is the Black Moon Lilith. You can very easily look up your Black Moon Lilith and see where it is in your chart. That will show you parts of your shadow. That will give you hints of what kind of shadow work you can do if you don't really know how to get started with it. But I also want to say, aside from these correspondences, there are so many things you can give her as offerings or put on an altar or incorporate them into your spell work to represent her. It's all honestly based off of your personal connection with her. If you feel like bats are associated with her, which I personally do, then you can use that as a symbol for her. If you think lilies are a good association with her, for some reason they just remind you of her or make you feel that connection to her, then go ahead and use lilies. There are so many things associated with her. These are just the most common ones. For me, working with Lilith has been one of the most intense but rewarding experiences. When I first connected with her, I felt her presence as a mix of comfort and a challenge. Like she was guiding me, but also pushing me to step into my power. She helped me break through patterns of people pleasing and self-doubt. I was in a toxic romantic relationship, and it was my second one, and I was kind of being stubborn about it. I was trying to really make it work, but I eventually realized, thanks to the help of her, that the only way for me to feel free and happy again was to leave that situation. Honestly, even before I started working with her, I realized that she had been there with me for a very long time. She had been there for some really challenging things in my life. She had been there for a previous toxic relationship. She had also been there when I needed to tell a friend that I needed to set boundaries, which was really hard for me because I was a people pleaser back then. But she really helped me through that, gave me the strength to actually stand up for myself. And when that friend wasn't respecting those boundaries, she also helped me learn to let go of that friendship. With me personally, she's really good at listening, and it's almost like I feel a warm sensation around me, like she really is being a mother, especially when I'm going through something really rough, even if I'm crying, especially when I'm crying, actually. She helps me through my shadow work every single time. Personally, she has a very strong, motherly, loving, protective, but fierce energy. And I do notice that she will step back and just watch you until you do the things that you promise that you're gonna do. She will also kind of just step back whenever she feels you don't necessarily need her there. You don't need her there 24/7. She's there for you when you need her. She will immediately be there for you. I do also notice from other people who share their stories with me that she has very different energy with everybody. So maybe you will see her as a motherly figure too, but maybe that motherly figure might be a little bit different from how she comes to me. Someone even told me that they see her as an older sister rather than a mother. Like I said before, I think it really depends on your personal experience and what your journey is going to be like. She will show you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. But if you're willing to face the truth, she will empower you beyond what you thought was possible. So how do you begin to start working with her? If you feel called to start working with her, then you can reach out to her first. I know some people think that they need to receive messages from a deity in order to work with them, or the deity needs to reach out to you first, but that's not actually true. You want to start by simply calling out to her. It helps to center and ground your energy, meditate, and then call out to her. Literally speak it out loud, or in your mind, or in your journal. Whatever one of those ways is most comfortable to you. It's as simple as that. With any deity, you literally just call out to them. I didn't even make a whole ritual out of it whenever I first called out to her. You can, and in my book, Embodying Lilith, I do give you a guide to set up a ritual if that's what you wish to do. The reason you want to center and ground your energy and meditate first is so that you can sense energy shifts in the room. I truly believe we all have psychic abilities that we can just tap into. Some people are more familiar with their psychic abilities than others, and so it's easier for them to feel a connection back from their deities whenever they reach out to them. For others, it's a bit more challenging. Sometimes when I call out to her, I will hear something back. It'll be either one word or a short phrase. It'll be very direct and it'll have this strong energy behind it, and that's how I know it's her. Other times, the way she communicates with me is through dreams. Usually when she does that, she sends me snakes. Because I told her to, because that's the way that I know that it's going to be a message from her. Other times when I'm having trouble understanding whatever message she's trying to send me, I will use a pendulum. I will literally ask, is this what you're asking of me? Or should I do this or should I do that? And I'll ask her specifically, and I'll just use my pendulum to do so. I honestly recommend pendulums for people who are new to divination and new to working with deities, they're kind of like a little crutch. It helps you get a more definitive answer. And I do have a blog post on pendulums if you're interested to learn. I also sometimes do tarot with her, and that's how I can get messages from her. Once you start building a connection with her, you may feel inclined to build her an altar. Your altar can include whatever you feel connected to, whatever correspondences you feel connect to her energy. Your altar can be simply for offerings and communicating with her, or it can also be for doing spell work, whatever you feel called to. It's a sacred space that you create, and you choose to use that space however you like. Once you do make that first connection, she'll probably immediately tell you that you should be doing some shadow work, and she may tell you exactly on what to do shadow work with, or she may tell you exactly to do something, usually involving letting go of a habit or a relationship or building a certain boundary around someone or something. She is usually very direct. I also recommend when you first reach out to her to tell her why you're reaching out to her. It's like building a friendship. You introduce yourself and tell her why you're interested in building this connection with her. What areas in life do you need empowerment or need help with shadow healing? Lilith is a powerful ally for those who are ready to walk their own path, embrace their shadows, and reclaim their divine sovereignty. If you feel drawn to her, trust that calling. She appears to those who are ready. If you've worked with Lilith, I'd love to know your experiences. Let me know in the comments. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also, if you have more questions on Lilith, let me know in the comments. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.